Jeffrey heard his twin sons laugh for the first time, 4 years after finding them on his doorstep. And the woman making them laugh was their mother. She just didn't know he knew. The 9-month-old babies had arrived with a note. "They are yours, courtesy of the masquerade party 18 months ago." DNA confirmed it. The golden orb eyes confirmed it. Jeffrey had become a father overnight to Jason and Jaden. Now, 4 years later, he stood frozen in the kitchen doorway, watching his new housekeeper make the boys giggle. Ava wasn't tickling them or making faces. She was doing voices for the dishes as she washed them. A squeaky plate, a grumpy pot, a dramatic sponge. The twins clapped and squealed with delight. Something in Jeffrey's chest cracked open. His sons barely spoke. They communicated in grunts and long stares, just like him. He'd accepted the silence. But here they were, laughing like normal children, their faces lit up with pure joy. "Again!" Jason demanded. "More voices!" Jaden added. They were talking, actually talking. Ava grinned and launched into another silly conversation between a fork and a spoon. Jeffrey backed away quietly, his mind racing. In 3 weeks, she'd done what years of nannies couldn't. She'd reached his sons. Over the following days, Jeffrey watched the transformation continue. The twins followed Ava everywhere. They held her hands. They spoke in full sentences when she was around. At night, they asked when she'd be back in the morning. Jeffrey found himself drawn to her too. She was patient where others had been frustrated. She understood their quiet moments. She never pushed them to be something they weren't. And she had a way of making the enormous, cold mansion feel like a home. But Ava kept walls up around herself. When Jeffrey tried to talk to her, she'd deflect with a polite smile and change the subject. When he offered her time off, she refused. When he asked about her family, her answers were vague. "I'm a private person," she said once when he pressed. "I hope that's all right." It should have been, but something about her felt familiar in a way he couldn't place. 3 months after hiring her, Jeffrey came home early from a meeting. He heard splashing and laughter from the pool. He walked out to find Ava in a swimsuit teaching the boys to float on their backs. That's when he saw it, a heart-shaped birthmark at the base of her spine. The memory hit him like a freight train. The masquerade party 5 years ago. Too much wine, a woman in a silver mask with a laugh that made him forget every rule he ever set for himself. He'd brought her home, something he never did. They'd stumbled into his bedroom, and he traced that exact birthmark with his fingers. He'd woken up alone. No name, no number, no face without the mask. Until now. Jeffrey stepped back into the shadows of the house, his heart pounding. It was her. Ava was the mother of his children. That's why the twins were so drawn to her, some instinct they couldn't name. That's why she understood them so completely. But why had she come back as a housekeeper? Why hide the truth? He needed answers, but confronting her blindly felt reckless. He hired a private investigator. The report came back 2 weeks later. Ava Nelson, 27 years old. She'd been a college student when she attended that party, picked up a discarded invitation meant for someone else, her one night of freedom before finals. She graduated, worked low-paying jobs, lived modestly, no debt, no criminal record, no social media presence, no apparent agenda. And according to hospital records, she'd given birth to twins 5 years ago, left the hospital the next day, and disappeared from the system. She'd kept them just enough to know she couldn't give them the life they deserved. Jeffrey sat in his office, staring at the file. Fury and confusion warring in his chest. She'd abandoned their children. Then she'd walked back into their lives under false pretenses. But the investigator found no evidence of blackmail, no scheme, no ulterior motive. She just wanted to be close to them. He didn't know whether that made it better or worse. For days, Jeffrey watched her with new eyes. Every time she hugged the boys, he saw her choosing to give them up. Every time she laughed with them, he saw her walking away 4 years ago. Every time she tucked them in at night, he saw her leaving them on his doorstep like packages. But he also saw her love, raw and desperate and all-consuming. He planned to confront her. He rehearsed the conversation 100 times. Then, Jaden collapsed. It happened during breakfast. One moment, Jaden was eating cereal. The next, he was slumped in his chair, unresponsive. The ambulance arrived within minutes. Jeffrey rode with his son, Ava following with Jason in her car, both of them terrified. At the hospital, the doctors ran tests. Jaden needed a blood transfusion, a rare blood type. They tested Jeffrey immediately. "I'm sorry, Mr. West. You're not a match." The words didn't make sense. "Test me again." "We did, twice. Your blood type is incompatible." Panic clawed at his throat. "Then find a donor. I'll pay whatever it costs. Save my son, please." "We're searching our database. But with this blood type, it could take time we don't have." The doctor sounded as frustrated as Jeffrey felt. Ava stepped forward. "Test me." The nurse hesitated. "Are you family?" "Test me," Ava repeated, her voice shaking. "Please." 20 minutes later, the doctor emerged with a strange expression. "Ms. Nelson, you're a perfect match. We can proceed immediately." Ava closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you. Thank you." They prepped her for the transfusion. Jeffrey stood in the hallway watching through the window as they inserted the IV into her arm. Jason sat beside him, quiet and scared. "Is Jaden going to be okay?" the boy whispered. "Yes," Jeffrey said firmly. "Ava's helping him." When it was over, Ava sat in the recovery area, pale and exhausted. Jeffrey sent Jason to sit with Jaden, who was already improving, then approached her. She looked up at him with red-rimmed eyes. "I need to tell you something." "I know," Jeffrey said quietly. She blinked. "What?" "I know you're their mother. I've known for 2 weeks." The color drained from her face. "How did you—" She stopped, shaking her head. "It doesn't matter. I'll leave. Tonight. I'll quit and you'll never see me again. I promise. I just wanted to save him. I couldn't let him—" Her voice broke. "Why did you leave them?" "I was broke, barely surviving. You could give them everything. Education, security, a future. I could give them nothing but struggle." She wiped her eyes. "I thought I was doing the right thing, but I've regretted it every single day. You should have told me." "I know." They sat in silence. Finally, Jeffrey spoke. "You're not disappearing." She looked up, startled. "What?" "The boys need you. They're different with you. Better. I won't take that away from them." He paused. "But you can't work for me anymore. It's not right." "Then what?" "You can visit. Anytime. As often as you want." His jaw tightened. "We'll figure out the rest later. Right now, my son needs his mother." Ava covered her face with her hands and sobbed. 2 weeks later, Ava showed up for her first official visit. The twins ran to her like she'd been gone for years instead of days. Jeffy watched from the kitchen as she knelt down and hugged them both, whispering something that made them laugh. It was awkward. They didn't know what to say to each other without the buffer of employer and employee. But for the boys, they tried. Weeks turned into months. The visits became routine. Sundays, then Wednesdays, then whenever the boys asked. Gradually, the tension eased. They learned to talk about small things, the boys' favorite foods, upcoming holidays. A funny thing Jaden said. One evening, after the boys were asleep, they sat on the back patio with coffee. "They ask about you constantly," Jeffrey said. "When you're coming back, why you don't live here." Ava stared into her cup. "What do you tell them?" "That you have your own home, your own life." "Do you want me to visit less?" "No." The word came out too quickly. He cleared his throat. "They need consistency. You're their mother, whether they know it or not." "Will you tell them eventually?" "When they're ready. When we're ready." She nodded slowly. "And us? Will we ever be ready?" Jeffrey looked at her, really looked at her. The woman who'd given him his sons. The woman who'd walked away to give them a better life. The woman who'd come back because she couldn't stay away. The woman who'd saved Jaden without hesitation. "I don't know," he said honestly, "but I think we're getting there." Ava smiled, small, tentative, but real. "One day at a time?" "One day at a time," he agreed. Inside, through the window, they could see the twins sleeping peacefully in their beds. A family fractured and slowly mending. Not perfect, not simple, but theirs. And for now, that was enough.